In 1999, India achieved a significant victory in the Kargil War and defeated Pakistan. The war was triggered after Pakistan violated the Lahore Declaration with India. Just a day after the 25th anniversary of Kargil Vijay Diwas, Pakistan once again attempted an attack on Indian soldiers. Pakistan's Border Action Team, comprising Special Forces personnel in the Pakistani army and terrorists, launched an attack. However, the Indian army troops foiled it. In the encounter, a soldier was martyred and a terrorist was neutralised. 4 other army jawans sustained injuries in the clash with terrorists. Pakistan backstabbed India in 1999, leading to the Kargil War, but nothing seems to have changed even after 25 years now. While the country is battling with poor economy and other issues, these terror attacks do not seem to be stopping. Is this time for another reminder that Pakistan should change, but it doesn't? That's exactly what we'll talk about with our guests for the next half an hour. Joining us on the show to talk more about this is DGP BL Vora, terror and security expert. Also joining us on the show is Major General J.K. Bansal, defense expert. Major General J.K.S. Parihar, defense expert, also joins us on the show. Last but by no means the least, Major General G.G. Dwivedi, defense expert, also with us on the program to lend his opinion on what to do with Pakistan. And General Dwivedi, that's exactly the question that perhaps you also must be asking yourself, that what do we do with Pakistan? You know, you cannot change your relatives and you can't change your neighbors. And India is stuck with Pakistan. But the fact of the matter is, regardless of the squalor, regardless of the pathetic situation that you see in Pakistan in terms of their economy and the condition of the country, they still are adamant, they still are poised to have this proxy war against India. They've lost every war, every attempt of theirs is foiled. You know, they've tried to in fact insinuate us with the help of the Americans, the Chinese and whatnot, even the Arabic countries. But the fact of the matter is that Pakistan itself does not take its own country seriously. What's India's learning after 25 years of Kargil war? You know, we still continue to have this enemy who doesn't change regardless of what happens to them. It seems that they exist only and only to spite India.
Well, Vineet, first and foremost, we have lost another brave heart, and to that extent, I share the grief with the bereaved family. Unfortunately, this is the 10th soldier we lost in last about 3 weeks. Well, Vineet, you asked a very pertinent question as to what I feel about it. Well, I think having served in this area about 2 decades back, I think the game is same. And there's a famous saying that you don't get different results by doing more of the same thing. Ironically, we are doing same thing and getting no different results. Now, the Machal is a very, very known infiltration route, and I was commanding my brigade here in this sector. And the same pattern is continuing. And the same BAT action, the Border Action Team, supported by Pakistan SSG and the Post, and they try to infiltrate the terrorists, and which are, I think, surplus these days because of the, Afghanistan. There is a surplus of this commodity. So coming to this, what is my answer? I just did an op-ed about 3 weeks back on the proxy war and how to defeat Pakistan in the Tribune. And the answers are very straight and cut. First and foremost, we need to treat this as a proxy war and not as a terrorism and then keep reacting to it. I think we need to have a strategy in place, because what we have been doing for the last about 3 decades and have lost about 6,000 soldiers and about 40,000 civilians, I think the game needs to change. And how the game can be changed? We need to have a very clear-cut strategy which should be 3-pronged. First and foremost, go and hit the camps inside Pakistan, because until we close the tap, these guys are going to keep coming, and there's no dearth of terrorists because they are available in plenty in Pakistan. Secondly, on the line of control, I think this ceasefire agreement, which came in 2003, then again it was reworked, is not doing us any good, because these BAT actions, these posts which are helping the infiltration, we are not able to take punitive action. I think this should be abrogated straight away, and all these posts which are facilitating infiltration must be punished. And so also Pakistan government must be made to pay the price. And then come to hinterland, because after all, these terrorists cannot survive until they have some kind of local support. And in last about 3 years, they have made bases, they have built up certain infrastructure ecosystem in Rajouri, Poonch, Doda, Riasi. And I think that has been neglected. And that's why once again we have failed in intelligence. We got to go whole hog to ensure the ecosystem is destroyed, and all those who are helping the terrorists must be nabbed, and what are terrorists, 50, 60 of them, must be destroyed, like we did Surf Nash in 2003. And my final word is, Vineet, we are the only nation which accept these infiltrators coming, and we still feel the sanctity of LOC is being maintained. No. Moment anyone is infiltrating, the sanctity of LOC has been compromised. And this is unacceptable. So my last word is, Pakistan proxy war can be defeated only when there is a political will, when there is an operational doctrine, and when we have put a house in order. Really.
You're absolutely right, sir. And Mr. B.L. Vora, what's your take on this continuous insinuation at the hands of Pakistan? General Dwivedi also very rightly mentioned that 10 soldiers of ours have died in the last few days as a result of these incursions, these infiltrations. But the fact of the matter is, there has been political will to, answer to Pakistan every time there is a major attack. But the fact of the matter is, sir, that, when you have these sporadic miniature attacks from time to time, should India be responding collectively to those? Because this is again, comparable to Uri or Pulwama. But the fact of the matter is that we are not going into Pakistan. We are still trying to defend ourselves. We are still trying to create a deterrence. We are not sending a message to Pakistan, the way some of the superpowers across the world have said before any crisis or any warlike situation leads to the death of their soldiers or their citizens.
Vineet, I think there is no dearth of political will today. The point is the strategy which the government adopts or the armed forces adopt. I think that's very important. Now, Pakistan is getting nervous by the day now, if you see. Now, this one of the groups in Kashmir now, they have said that they will now participate in elections, for example. That's another thing that is happening. On the ground, situation is changing fast. So they're not getting people. So that is why the change of strategy, coming to Jammu, doing this, that. Now, taking action, retaliatory action, I'm sure this is being planned. We are, of course, now retired people. We will not know what's happening. I'm sure a lot is happening in the background, and soon maybe we'll hear something that something has happened. I don't think Pakistan can get away with that. But yes, for the moment, it's a difficult situation. There's a grief about the losses that we are suffering, and condolences to the family of those who have died. So I think this is very important. Second, see the terrain there. I've been there, IGBSF myself. Terrain is very difficult in that entire area. So howsoever much technology you may use, manpower you may use, this is going to be tough. But situation is, I think, better. It will come control. We should not get jittery over these short-term losses. But I have a feeling that soon enough, something big is going to come about. And the way the Prime Minister spoke with a lot of firmness at Kargil yesterday, I think there must be something in the offing, and there should be something there. Abrogating ceasefire agreement or not, General Dwivedi will know, other army officers will know better. And one is, of course, far away. I was also there about 20 years ago in that area. So I think the punitive action has to be taken. I'm sure it will be taken when we don't know where, how, and that is all. When we were working, we were also doing the same. We were also retaliating on this border. I know that very well, but not immediately, not under provocation, not getting nervous at once. So I think something will happen soon. This is my guess. Vineet.
All right. General Bansal, something may happen soon, but what is the long-term solution? That soon would happen, it would pass by, then you again would come back to square one, and Pakistan, regardless of its economic frustrations, they continue, to feel supported by China and to a large extent by some of the other allies as well, including Turkey. What is India to do? We have mounted enough international pressure. We have gone to the UN, which of course is a defunct organization by many of us. What is India to do at this point in time?
Very good question, Vineet, you have put across. There is evidence that when we strengthen our forces in Kashmir, that is Srinagar and Valley, during even after abrogation of Article 370, there has been no incidents. Similarly, this problem in Jammu, and because Jammu has arisen after mobilization of troops from Jammu to eastern Ladakh. Up to 2020, there was not so many incidents. They have increased after 2021. So now there is a clear-cut evidence that for the long-term prevention, we have to strengthen our borders. So there are few steps to be taken, that we have to strengthen our intelligence work through the human being, as well as artificial intelligence, drone, etc. Secondly, we have to foster a great relationship with the local people, and overground worker has to be identified to be eliminated. Thirdly, there has to be a kind of mobilization, more troops in that area, so that they will manage. And once the troop is there, whatever terrorist has entered, they need to be neutralized. Of course, the action is already going on. This Sarp Vinas 2, this mission is going on, which will eliminate them. So we have to ultimately strengthen our border, then only it will be lasting peace. Otherwise, we have seen in past that we have done surgical strike, we have done air strike, but after that they again research. So this all things are important, but these steps has to be taken to maintain a lasting border, prevention of any intrusion of terrorists from there, Vineet.
General Parihar, your thoughts? We have spoken about this in the past as well, sir, that Pakistan doesn't seem to be learning its lessons. We are losing our brave hearts. We are, the Pakistan is cowering away in these, deceitful areas, which are of course hard to man, they're hard to predict, and they're hard to in fact guard as well. What should India do at this point in time? As you have heard from the other panelists as well, that the political will, there is no dearth of political will. Then what are we waiting for? Do we need to in fact wait for more soldiers to die, to have another strike inside of Pakistan? Because the intelligence system knows who's where and who's helping these people come in.
First of all, I must compliment by all three senior panelists. They have got each and every part of relevant part to our notice, and I agree to each with some, and some point I differ to. IG Vora sir has definitely mentioned, which is true, that the border is very difficult terrain, and which is very difficult to protect each and every millimeter or centimeter of this border. It is next to impossible. There is no doubt about it. And the second issue about the political will, the government has a strong political will. That is also true. The issue remains with in our action that we are still playing the test matches of 1970s, when you keep on waiting for a good ball to come and hit it, otherwise you are always on the deck. So that is the same thing. We are retaliating this since 1985 onward, as it is mentioned by my panelists, that the actions are the same, the pattern is also same. So if it is same, then why should we reciprocate with the same? We have to change our approach. The approach which needs it now is definitely to change our doctrine from a defensive order to a very aggressive order, and to finish for the ever. Now, how it is done, that is the issue which lies with the political leadership. Political leadership has given a open hand to the services to act and retaliate. That is very good. But the fact remains there that if you go with the Kargil war, how it has been started, and during that time, if you see that the valley was first of all they started putting force their actions in the valley, and we moved our troops to the valley and making the Kargil relatively easier for them to act. So I am apprehensive on this part. They suddenly, if they started taking action in the Jammu division, are they planning some major actions in the valley or in the eastern Ladakh or in the Punjab border? That we have to keep in the mind, and I am sure our intelligence sources and NSA will be definitely considering these issues. This is one point. Second, we have gone through the excellent performances Lok Sabha elections in the Kashmir, and as per the Supreme Court directives, now by 30th September, this election has to be held for the assembly. Probably the Pakistan, they don't want that this process to be moved forward. That could be another reason to make the stand still on this particular. Now, ultimately, as we have seen the surgical strike, they don't act for a very long time because we are not able to cut the root cause, and we are not able to choke their line, which is not only the Pakistan but the China as well. Through CPC is coming forward. So ultimately, the government of India has to make a very clear doctrine about to deal with the Pakistan and China, LAC and LOC, not as a defending, and to respect the LAC as a utmost sincerity and with all the virginity. I think those days are over. If they are doing infiltrations, then we forget about all those pacts which has come for the LOC because it has been breached by these countries quite often, and we have to push forward and open up the front for Pakistan in the international domain also. UN is at no value. As per today's position, the UN structure and their actions are of no help to global peace. So we have to have our own diplomacy and develop our own bloc to crush the Pakistan's all these activities.
Jalhavedi, what about invoking the international community into this entire scenario? I mean, India cannot be attacking itself. There's enough proof with us, to corroborate and substantiate that it's Pakistan that continues to indulge in these nefarious activities. But yet, the Americans are ready to give Pakistan about $100 million in loan just because they want to see, less influence of the Chinese in Pakistan. Well, that's not going to happen because Pakistan already owes about $50 billion to China. Just $100 million of a value of a loan is not going to, change the loyalties that Pakistan has towards China. What about invoking international pressure into this situation? Do you think that has been a tried and tested route, which has fallen flat on its face, and we need to be creative here now?
Absolutely, Vineet. Before I answer your question, I'd just like to share my personal observation because I keep in close touch with the J&K region. In fact, I teach in one of the very eminent university there, and I am there almost every month. The ground situation definitely has changed, but the point is that at the same time, Pakistan's strategy is also changed from north of Pir Panjal to south of Pir Panjal, and we need to keep this in mind. Now, your particular question, yes, I think I was defense attaché abroad, and I can tell you that our effort needs to actually scale up as far as sensitizing the international community is concerned about Kashmir, because many of the countries are actually not fully aware of the ground situation, because let us accept that Pakistan propaganda machinery has done better than ours. So therefore, I think I fully go along with you that our diplomatic efforts need to scale up and we need to sensitize the international community. And second point is that how we deter Pakistan, because after all, this is the proxy war doctrine. It is paying rich dividend, minimal cost, maximum returns. Why would they actually pull away from this? And they have been further emboldened because today we have China into the game, because Chinese have huge stakes in POK. Their BRI is running through. They are making big dams in the POK. So therefore, they are party to it. And also, they have activated the LAC. LAC is no more patrolled. Like in our times, I was a battalion commander in Chishul and his agent. That time we used to patrol the LAC. Today, LAC is being contested. So we have another player in the game. So all I wish to say that first and foremost, at the diplomatic level, we must build pressure. Economically, we did so. We actually did some very good work with FATF, but then Pakistan got out of the grey list, unfortunately, but we need to get it back into the black list. And the second important point is that political action and military action must go hand in hand. As I said, that I'm not talking only from the 2 decades back my knowledge, but I keep very close in touch with the ground. That today, average person in Kashmir wants the kind of prosperity, normalcy. We must exploit the groundswell because groundswell is very favorable. But ironically, we have missed out on the Pakistani game and how they have been able to establish themselves south of Pir Panjal. I think this needs to be actually, we got to go whole wrong operationally. And my last point is, it has to be integrated effort. It has to be beyond politics. Every political party must come on the same platform because we cannot play politics with the national security. I think it has to be national effort, national doctrine. We need to change the game. We cannot keep playing the same manner. We have to be proactive. At the end of it, we must make it cost prohibitive for Pakistan government and the Pakistan army that this game will not go on the way it is, and they'll have to pay a heavy price for it.
All right, we've almost run out of time. I'll take concluding thoughts from the rest of our panelists, starting with Mr. B.L. Vora. Sir, concluding thoughts.
I think we have achieved a lot against Pakistan. Let's not forget that in the past few years. Pakistan is isolated today, even in the Arab world. Pakistan is isolated in Kashmir now. Their economy is in shambles. Covertly things are happening there. Many terrorists are dying. God knows who's killing them, but they are dying. The well-known terrorists, as we all know. Public there has started speaking in favor of India. Here, Hurriyat has been banned. 370 has been removed. So much has happened in the past, if you see about 7, 8 years or 10 years, that we should not say that nothing is being done against Pakistan. Now, Pakistan is pushed into corner. Now it is in the lap of China. China, we cannot ask China to put pressure because China will not listen to us. So that is part one. Let's not forget the gains that we have had. The other is, of course, taking action on ground, entering their territory. But I think short of war, because it's very easy to say that one should cross LOC and go there and, bombard them or whatever. So I think, as I said, certain things I'm sure are in the works. The government has just been formed. Let it stabilize a little more. And I think soon enough something will happen. And how long will Pakistan play this game? How long ultimately? After all, one day will come when, we will, of course, break the ceasefire agreement ourselves, informally, if not formally. So I think that things are bad. Yes, more troops have been sent now there. About 4,000 troops are going there. More paramilitary forces people are going there. More action is being taken. Now, the army and paramilitary forces are all over Jammu in the jungles also. They're looking for them. So I am optimistic that soon we'll be able to control this situation. It's a long haul because Pakistan is not going to learn any lesson and there's no point in talking to them also. So I think we need, yes, a matter of worry, but I don't think it's a matter of a long-term anxiety at the moment.
General Bansal, concluding thoughts, sir?
Actually, enough international pressure, diplomatic pressure has been put on Pakistan, whatever was to be done. Whenever there is any declaration or when one has to, for the terrorists, then China put the veto. Now, as such, there is not much the international community or the international organization can do. Even countries like US, they are entangled in Ukraine, Gaza war, etc. Nothing can be done over there. Whatever has been done, it has been done. We had been put them when they are not coming out of the FATF list. Now, whatever as Mr. Vora has said, I fully agree that we have to strengthen our own side here, that we have to disrupt all the logistic which has been provided to terrorists, when they are crossing border, they are the overground worker. More than 300 have been there. So they have this logistic has to be disrupted. More troop has to be mobilized, and once it is whatever are here, they are neutralized and eliminated. Then there has to be a proper intelligence, and we should not withdraw troops from there. Then only there will be any lasting peace on the border, or what we can reduce, because otherwise the Pakistan's policy is that the military never wants to end war, because their survival is on the basis of war only. If there is the peace with India, their budget, who will give the 15% budget of their GDP to Pakistan? The Pakistani army, which is controlling the country, the Pakistani civil administration or government is the puppet. So there is no lasting peace from their side. We have to mend our borders. And I do agree that, yes, by crossing the borders or any kind of surgical or air strike can escalate it further. And these days, nobody learned lesson. Even they are ready to die. You are seeing in the Ukraine, despite the complete Ukraine has been destroyed, still they are not coming to the peace. Similarly, in the Gaza also, the complete Gaza has been destroyed. The so-called Hamas, so-called protector of Palestinian, but they are taking shield of those. So international pressure community is not much, and we have isolated now. Afghanistan is also talking in our favor, the Taliban and all the complete Arab. So enough work has been done on the diplomatic level. Vinny.
All right, General Barry here. Quickly, sir, we've run out of time.
Yeah, that's true. We have done definitely a lot of diplomatic pressure has been put on the Pakistan, but the fact remains there. The Pakistan has a strong backing of the China, which we won't be able to withdraw or to get them retracted. The UK, you know that the large section of the Mirpur Kashmiri lobby, they have a lot of role to influence the UK government. That nexus we have to break. And US has its own interest with the Pakistan. Unless until countries, NATO countries, they are dealing with the Pakistan, this will be keep on going on. So far, the present episode is concerned, I am very sure within a month or two, we'll be able to control it.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.